Amanda Peterson was born on July 8, 1971, in Greeley, Colorado, the youngest of 3 children. Her father, Dr. James Peterson, was a respected ear, nose, and throat specialist, while her mother, Sylvia, stayed home to raise Amanda and her siblings. From the beginning, Amanda stood out as someone with natural charm and talent. She wasn't just another child in a small town, she had a spark that others quickly noticed. At the young age of 7, she stepped onto a stage for the first time, performing as Gretel von Trapp in The Sound of Music at the University of Northern Colorado. For many children, such a role would just be a cute memory, but for Amanda, it was the first step on a remarkable journey. Casting agents soon noticed her, and doors began opening in ways most small-town kids could only dream of. Her siblings, James Jr. and Anne-Marie, watched in awe as Amanda transformed from a regular little sister into someone who clearly had something special. By the time she was 11, Amanda had already made it into a major Hollywood film. In 1982, she appeared in Annie as one of the dancing extras. She came close to landing the lead role, making it into the final 10 out of more than 8,000 girls who auditioned. That close call was proof that Amanda's talent and presence were hard to ignore. Even among thousands, as Amanda moved into her early teens, her career exploded with opportunities. Between ages 11 and 14, she appeared in more than 50 commercials. Even if people didn't know her name yet, they recognized her face. She was also landing guest roles in popular TV shows like Father Murphy and Silver Spoons. Learning how to work alongside seasoned actors, by 1983, she earned a co-starring role in the NBC series Boone, playing the character Squirt Sawyer. Though the show was cancelled after just 13 episodes, Amanda stood out and received 2 Young Artist Award nominations for her performance. At only 12 years old, she was proving she could handle serious acting roles. In 1985, she got her first major film role in Explorers, starring alongside Ethan Hawke and River Phoenix, both of whom would go on to become stars. The film was ambitious, using the same special effects team that had worked on Star Wars. While it didn't do well in theaters, it later became a cult favorite on VHS. Amanda's career was gaining momentum, and she was showing Hollywood that she was not just another child actor, she had real range. Her dedication and skill helped her build a resume that many young actors could only dream of, and by the time she was 20, she had already worked in multiple TV series, 5 TV movies, an Emmy-winning miniseries, and several feature films. Amanda's biggest breakthrough came in 1987 when she was only 15 years old. Out of more than 200 girls, she was chosen to play Cindy Mancini in the teen romance film Can't Buy Me Love, opposite Patrick Dempsey. Originally titled Boy Rents Girl, the movie had a small budget, but it captured the teenage experience in a way that audiences loved. Amanda's natural chemistry with Dempsey was undeniable, and her performance felt genuine. To prepare, she even learned cheerleading routines to ensure her role felt authentic. The infamous lawnmower kiss scene became one of the most memorable moments in 80s teen films. When the movie was released on August 14, 1987, it became a surprise hit. With just a $1.5 million budget, it earned over $31 million, making it one of the most profitable teen movies of the decade. Amanda suddenly found herself in the spotlight, appearing on talk shows and magazine covers. Johnny Carson even told her she was destined to become the next big star. Critics praised her charm, with the New York Times calling her incredibly likable. For a short time, Amanda Peterson seemed to have everything: a blossoming career, fame, and the promise of a bright future in Hollywood. But while the world saw Amanda as a rising star with a bright smile, her personal life was much darker. In 1986, the same year she began filming Can't Buy Me Love, Amanda was sexually assaulted by a man nearly twice her age. She was only 15 years old at the time. The trauma was devastating, but Amanda kept it a secret for years, fearing judgment and worried her career would be ruined if anyone found out. On film sets, her family noticed she seemed more defensive and withdrawn, but few understood the real reason why. By 1988, during an emotional breakdown, Amanda finally told her family what had happened. Still, She refused to go public or report the crime. Hollywood in the 1980s was not a safe place for young girls to reveal such painful truths. Amanda feared being blacklisted, blamed, or dismissed. This secret weighed on her for decades, shaping her mental health and her relationships. Soon after, she was diagnosed with bipolar disorder, a condition her family believed was worsened by the trauma. The once carefree young star was now struggling with mood swings, anxiety, and deep emotional pain that she often kept hidden from the public. By the early 1990s, Amanda began to step away from Hollywood. At just 23, she left acting behind and tried to focus on building a normal life. She married twice, with her first marriage ending in abuse and control that left her deeply scarred. Her second marriage, to medical technician David Hartley, brought more stability, and together they had 2 children, Jonathan, born in 1997, and Katie, born in 2004. Amanda, motherhood became her greatest role. She poured herself into her children's lives, filming their soccer games, helping with school plays, and even turning down acting offers to be a stay-at-home mum. Friends and teachers often said she was too involved, but Amanda didn't care. Her kids were her world. She filled scrapbooks, recorded thousands of voice messages filled with love and advice, and even rented out a theater once to screen Can't Buy Me Love for her daughter's birthday party. To the outside world, Amanda may have seemed like she had walked away from fame, but in reality, she had found a new purpose in raising her children. Unfortunately, Amanda's struggles with mental health never went away. In 2003, she was diagnosed with bipolar disorder. And though she sometimes took medication, she often refused it because of the side effects. Her mood swings became extreme, leading to hospitalizations and even suicide attempts. Her arrests between 2000 and 2012 reflected the chaos in her life, ranging from drug possession to fights in bars. The most heartbreaking moment came in 2012 when her mugshot went viral online. Showing her gaunt, bruised, and unrecognizable, people mocked her, turning her pain into a cruel internet joke. What many didn't realize was that Amanda had been self-medicating with drugs like heroin and meth for years, trying to numb the trauma she had carried since her teens. Behind every arrest and every headline was a woman desperately trying to quiet her pain. Even during these struggles, she never stopped being there for her children, attending their games, throwing birthdays, and showing up for school plays. But the weight of her trauma and addiction was heavy, and she could never fully break free. By 2015, Amanda was living alone in Colorado, still close to her family, but battling health problems. She had undergone a hysterectomy and was on medications for heart and lung issues. On July 5, 2015, Amanda died at the age of 43. At first, many assumed it was another tragic Hollywood overdose, but her family knew it wasn't that simple. The coroner's report revealed that Amanda had taken morphine, a drug not prescribed to her, likely to ease pain. She also had other medications in her system, but all were at safe levels. What made the morphine so dangerous was her sleep apnea, a condition where breathing stops during sleep. Combined, the drug slowed her breathing until her body couldn't recover. Her death was ruled an accidental overdose. Amanda hadn't been trying to end her life, she had simply been trying to stop hurting. 2 months later, her family revealed the truth she had carried since 1986. Amanda had been raped at 15, and that trauma shaped the rest of her life. The world finally understood the weight she had been carrying in silence. Amanda Peterson's story is not just about a Hollywood star who fell from fame. It is about a young girl whose life was forever changed by trauma, and who never found the support she needed to fully heal. Despite the fame, despite the adoration of fans, Amanda struggled in silence for decades. Yet, she was also a devoted mother, a woman who gave her children love and memories even when she was falling apart inside. Her story is both heartbreaking and inspiring, reminding us that behind every smile, there may be pain we cannot see. Amanda's death may have come too soon, but by sharing the truth about what really happened to her, her family has given others the courage to speak out. Her legacy lives on, not only in films like Can't Buy Me Love, but also in the lessons we can learn about compassion, awareness, and the importance of listening to those who are suffering. Amanda was more than a tragic headline. She was a daughter, a sister, a mother, and a woman who deserved peace. Now, her truth is known, and perhaps it can help others find the strength to heal. Hollywood in the 1980s was a glamorous but dangerous place for young actors. To the outside world, it looked like an endless dream. Red carpets, cameras flashing, directors praising new talent, and adoring fans. But behind the scenes, it was an industry that often pushed children to grow up too quickly. Amanda Peterson was just 15 when Can't Buy Me Love turned her into a household name. She was expected to act like a professional adult while still being a teenager, trying to figure out who she was. Long hours on set, constant travel, and the pressure to look perfect at every appearance all added to her stress. Managers and producers focused on her image and potential, rarely asking how she felt inside. Amanda later admitted to her family that she sometimes felt like a product being sold rather than a person with her own dreams. She wanted to go to school dances, spend time with friends, and enjoy being a normal teenager. But fame often took those chances away. The Hollywood machine gave her success, but it also left her vulnerable, especially when she experienced trauma that no one in the industry protected her from. After the success of Can't Buy Me Love, Amanda was considered for several major roles. She was on the shortlist for films like Dirty Dancing and Pretty Woman. Casting agents saw her as the next big star who could balance sweetness with strength. But Amanda often turned down offers that required her to move far away from her family or compromise her values. She didn't want to play characters that felt empty or overly sexualized, which limited her opportunities in a Hollywood that often rewarded young women for roles based on appearance rather than depth. Some directors admired her integrity, while others labeled her difficult. In truth, Amanda was simply trying to protect herself, but in doing so, she missed out on roles that could have kept her career thriving. By the early 90s, as younger stars like Julia Roberts and Winona Ryder rose to fame, Amanda's Hollywood spotlight began to dim. Looking back, fans often wonder how different her life might have been if she had landed even one of those roles. Could fame and financial security have shielded her from some struggles, or would the pressure have only made things worse? When Amanda left Hollywood, she didn't make a big announcement. There was no press conference or final interview. She simply faded from the spotlight. For years, many fans wondered where she had gone. In reality, Amanda was quietly living in Colorado, away from the fast-paced world of Los Angeles. She went back to school for a time, enrolling at Middlebury College in Vermont, and later attending Colorado State University. Education gave her a sense of control over her life that Hollywood never had. She studied writing, and even considered becoming a teacher. Neighbors in Greeley often said she was down-to-earth, friendly, and always ready to help others, never bragging about her past fame. Amanda herself once said that she was proud of her acting career, but didn't want it to define her forever. She wanted to be known as a good mother, a loyal friend, and a caring daughter, more than as Cindy Mancini from Can't Buy Me Love. This quieter lifestyle showed how deeply she longed for normalcy, even while battling the shadows of her past. In the 2000s, when Amanda's mugshots began circulating online, the response was brutal. Social media was still new, and people often mocked celebrities without thinking of the human behind the photo. Amanda's once bright face was now gaunt, marked by addiction and hardship. And internet users turned her suffering into a punchline. Tabloid headlines described her as a fallen star, erasing the years she had spent devoted to her children. For Amanda, this was one of the most painful parts of her later life. Her family recalled how deeply it hurt her to see cruel comments online. She knew she had made mistakes, but she also felt misunderstood. Few people realized the connection between her drug use and the trauma she had endured in silence. Instead of compassion, the world offered judgment. This cruelty showed how unforgiving fame can be, how quickly people celebrate you when you're young and beautiful, and how easily they tear you down when you struggle. Amanda's story forces us to ask how many other actors, especially child stars, face similar battles while the world only sees their mistakes. When Amanda died in 2015, her family faced not only grief, but also questions from the media and fans. At first, speculation ran wild. Some